name is Dr. Philip Tu. As I've mentioned in the other video that I did, I'm competing with you in this investment challenge. The other video I did was showing me doing some random picks. Now with this one, I'm actually trying to put some time and thought into it. So the companies that I chose for my first round of investments are as follows. I chose SeaWorld, which has a ticker of SEAS. So I'm going to go over here to Yahoo Finance, type in SEAS. SeaWorld is at the close of September 23rd. I'm doing this on Sunday, September 25th, so this is some after hours trading happening. But it was $13.46. SeaWorld had fallen some last week and the week before, primarily because they cut their dividend. The market viewed that as bad news. I am viewing it as a little bit better news, in that I believe that they are using that funds, looking at their financial statements, that they are using that fund to grow the company and to prepare for an increase. Now that their bad news event has gone away, the bad news event being about the documentary that came out called, I think it's called Blackfish, that did not speak well of SeaWorld. I believe that SeaWorld is going to go up. I think the 1 year target of $14.17 is actually a little low, so I believe it'll go up, so I'm going to invest in SeaWorld. The next one I'm going to choose is AutoZone, which is AZO, so I'm going to type that in here so we can look at AutoZone. AutoZone is headquartered over in Memphis. As you can see, their stock price is quite high, but we understand that that doesn't mean that they're that much better than SeaWorld. It just means that they probably haven't done stock splits or things like that. I do believe that AutoZone is a good buy right now. Even though we see a lot of red here, we see a lot of stock price going down, falling below certain levels. I think it's a good buy. The 1 year estimate of 861 I do think is a little high, but I could see it hitting 820, 830. I think that there's a question here, is AutoZone worth the risk? I believe it is. Their profits have gone up, even though revenues have remained fairly stagnant. So that is why I chose AutoZone. I think that they're probably a much better purchase than some of the other ones that are out there, so that's why I chose AutoZone. My third one I chose is Twitter. I'm sure all of you know what Twitter is. There is the code there, TWTR. I chose Twitter for a couple of reasons. One of the big ones coming up is that tomorrow night, I'm hoping to buy this stock tomorrow when the game begins. And the reason why I'm jumping on Twitter tomorrow is I could see Twitter stock going up quite a bit in the next week or two. I don't think this is going to be a long-term purchase for me. I could see me selling it within a week or two and just flipping for a very quick profit. The reason why is that Twitter is going to live stream and live tweet. They have a unique ability to do that tomorrow night for the presidential debate. This will be the first presidential debate between Clinton and Trump, and they are predicting it to be the most watched debate ever and could possibly rival the Super Bowl. And since Twitter has the sole ability to live stream it through Bloomberg, I think that that's going to cause once the numbers are announced at how many people watched it, I think I could see Twitter doing a jump of a few dollars. So I could see me probably buying tomorrow and then getting out of it fairly quickly and just get the short-term bump. So this is more of a a short-term investment for me. I'm not looking at this in the long term. The next one I have is Federal Express. This goes the opposite of Twitter, and that I am looking at this for a long-term investment. I believe that this year that our shopping, the economy will probably be showing a little bit better. I think that we'll have an increase in shopping. I think anytime you have an increase in shopping now, that means an increase with our online shopping, and I think that yields itself to FedEx having a much better time. They have a 1-year estimate of 186. I think that may be a little low. I could see about 190, 193 in the next year. So I'm doing FedEx, and FedEx will probably be one of these companies that I keep in my portfolio the whole time, because I do believe they're going to be a good long-term bet as opposed to Twitter. The next one I did is Unilever. So Unilever is a company that owns a lot of stuff. That's the easiest way to put it. They are a consumer staple company. They're in competition with Procter and Gamble. Normally, I would say I would look at Procter and Gamble, but I don't have as much confidence in them. I typically like to have a consumer staple because I think those are good in times of risk to hold. I think Unilever is doing a good job of buying other companies that add to their portfolio, whereas I think Procter & Gamble is getting rid of some of those. So they have them at 47.02. A 1-year estimate is lower than that. I could see them maybe getting up to about 50, 51. So once again, this is another long term, and if the market turns more sour, I could see Unilever being a better one to hold on to. So I'm using this more of a hedge against some future risk. So that's why I'm looking at that one. And the last one I have is GoPro, and I may end up regretting doing GoPro because I'm violating one of my rules here a little bit. One of my rules is that I only invest in companies that I know what they do. I know GoPro does the little cameras, they're not little, I guess the expensive cameras. Reason why I chose GoPro is that they had a couple of new products came out last week. I think 2 or 3 new products and a new subscription platform, and it was very well received by the people who were in that market. What worries me is that I'm not in that market, so I'm basing my thoughts on how other people view it. That could come back to haunt me, and that I'm not following my own rules. So I'm hoping that the people who I've read and I've researched on that they are true, that this is going to be a great thing. I have some worry about this. And we could very well, at the end of this 10 weeks, come back and have me talk about how this is what happens when you don't follow your own rules. So these are the 6 companies I'm going to start off with. I'll make some changes. I'll probably leave quite a bit of the money there in cash so I can find other deals coming up and invest in those. But this was my thought process about why I decided that these 6 investments would be the best ones to go with. A couple of them being long-term, one being a hedge, one being a very short-term investment, and then one hoping that the technology people that I follow know what they're talking about when it comes to GoPro.